Hello and welcome, you dashing lot. I'm Crispy WT, and today I'm going to be talking you through my top 5 key cards to craft within the most recent expansion of Hearthstone, the Voyage to the Sunken City. Please note, there are potentially some better cards than these, but these are 5 cards that are going to be viable in a number of decks, and a number of decks to come. I've tried to pick cards which are not specific to one deck, one class, one archetype, which could go out of fashion. No. All 5 of these are going to be valuable for quite a while, so if you're looking for what to craft next, look no further. Kicking things off, we've got number 5, the Tuscar Trawler, and I've dubbed this the surprising one, purely because when this first released, I wasn't a big fan of it. I thought it was a little bit too slow. I wasn't sure how powerful Dredge was. It's currently usage from HS Replay. It's used in 10.4% of decks, which is an amount of decks. It's probably the least used of all the 5 cards we're going to go through today. Key aspects are it's in Quest Warrior, which is the number one. One of the number 1 decks at the moment, aka Pirate Warrior, Pirate Rogue, and to make things a little bit more unique, Quest Priest. That can be fun. It's more fun than anything. The reason it's here though is it's common, it's easy to craft, and it can be viable in so many decks. It's just a good way to help ensure that you're able to play on curve and you're able to kind of continue either searching for the win condition, searching for something for your combo, some sort of control card. It's a good way to kind of just double check that one card you desperately need isn't the last card in your deck. This isn't going to be winning you games, but it's so reliable and so consistent. If you're ever unsure what to put in a deck, put 2 of these in, and then you won't be missing out. Let's say. Moving swiftly on, we've got our the legendary one, Sir Finley Sea Guide. Now, this little chap is currently in 11.2% of decks uploaded to HS Replay. Which is, it's slightly high. Again, it's still not a huge number, and this is not the most powerful legendary card, let's be clear. The reason I've added this though is because, again, much like Tuscar Trawler, it can always be useful. It is key in Control Warrior. It is very valuable in Control Warrior, which is currently, I believe, the most powerful deck since the most recent buffs and nerfs. It is also found in Murloc, Warlock, and Thief Rogue. 2 other decks you'll probably start seeing quite a lot more of. The key aspect though is, again, any deck you have, no matter what you're building, there's always the chance you could just be stuck with a dead hand. It's not what you need right then or there, depending on the opponent you're going up against. Maybe they're a bit more aggressive and you need something, or they're more combo and you need something. This guy's just a good way to kind of almost refresh. It's like a free mulligan, right? Mulligan's such a powerful and useful mechanic in Hearthstone. Here's another one. Why not mulligan twice? Next up, we've got the Mothership, my number 3 card, aka the constant pressure one. It's the names I've changed around a couple of times, so we'll go with that. It's being used in about 14.1% of decks at the moment, and it is primarily in mech decks. Obviously, the mech paladin and the mech mage are the 2 key ones. You will have seen this card a lot, and I guarantee when you do see it, you've probably been a little bit more, damn, because it's annoying, because it is constant pressure. When you feel like you're starting to kind of turn the battle back, trying to gain some tempo, using this card is such a big swing. It's effective. You can see it as almost a 5 damage spell, a bit of 5 damage removal plus 2 additional bodies. Or if it doesn't die initially, it starts off with 4 health. It's a lot of stats you're going to get for 6 mana, and it's a good way to either keep up the pressure, to combo with mech decks, or even in non-mech decks. It's not the worst card then as well. It's a good way to kind of keep board control, board pressure. Potential zoo kind of style things may want to run it, although there's a bit on the high end for that. Either way, it's one we're going to be seeing for quite a while, unfortunately, so all I can do is thoroughly recommend you make it yourself. Coming in at number 2, we've got the School Teacher, aka the Clutch Spell one. It's currently using 21.2% of decks, which is high, and I believe that's possibly the second most common or frequently used card from the Voyage of the Sunken City expansion. There you go, got it. It's used in Curse Warlock, Control Warrior, Naga Mage. It's actually used in quite a few others as well. It was very heavily present in the Naga Demon Hunter deck before that got obliterated, thank God. And even when it's outside of Nagas, it's just a good way to to draw an additional spell. It's a bit of a filler. If you're unsure what to put in, throwing one of these in is never bad. 5 4 for 4's fine to begin with. It's nothing huge, but it's fine. The key thing though is going to be that other spell, which is Discover. Depending on your classes, could be huge. And it can definitely sway the kind of the course of the battle. And it being a a 1 mana 1/1 Nogling with this spell is just great to kind of have in your hand as backup for when needed. And finally, coming in at number 1, we've got ourselves Amalgam of the Deep. This hopefully isn't a surprise to anybody because you'll have seen it literally everywhere. This is the never-ending one, or the always bloody there one, no matter what the situation. It's currently used in 42.6% of decks. That is huge. That is a phenomenally high number of decks. It's probably one of the most commonly used cards, period, at the moment. You see it in Control Warrior, Handbuff Paladin, Mech Mage, Murloc Warlock, pretty much any other class at the moment, even if it's a class that doesn't have a specific kind of minion type. It's still going to be useful because even if you're not intentionally running pirates, you may have a pirate, or if you're not intentionally running mechs, you may have a mech. There's almost always some sort of minion type in your hand, and therefore this is a great guy. It can be used early on in the board to keep pressure up. It's a 2 mana 2/3, so you can play it on curve very well. But it's also, like I said, it's going to give you the opportunity to help with the curve by finding maybe a 3-drop you're after, or a 4-drop, or if you're later in the game, you can go and you can find yourselves those Leviathans, you can find yourself some Gigafin, I don't know, you can find yourself whatever answer you need to find. Plus it's always fun to use an Amalgam on an Amalgam and not really know what the fuck's going to turn up. But wait, there's more. There's also my other, effectively. I'm not including this in the top 5 because I don't think this is necessarily as important to craft as the others, but it is possibly more impactful, if that makes sense. So this is Queen Azshara, the fancy one, I put it, because it's golden, because it's the queen. You've got to have it like that. It's currently used in 15.3% of decks. You will have come across it, and it's often... It can be a great powerhouse of a card, basically. You see it in Holy Paladin, Rampant Big Druid, some Druid ones, and Cursed Warlock. The key kind of value here really is once you've got your Ancient Relic, that can vary and that can be a huge swing in tempo. It can be a huge kind of aspect of your combos, basically giving you the option to create another one of these spells you need, or 10 damage to face is huge. I don't see this one used as often as the others, even though it theoretically is. I don't think it is as impactful, but it has the potential to be a game winner every now and then. And for a final legendary, if you're floating a boatload of of dust and don't know what to do with it, Queen Azshara is definitely not a bad option. Well, there we have it. These are my top 5 plus 1 extra key cards to craft in the current Voyage to the Sunken City expansion. To be specific, these are neutral cards only. Maybe I'm going to do one for class cards to kind of highlight the most important card for each class. But these are 5/6 cards, neutral cards that if you're unsure on what to craft, if you're limited on the amount of dust you've got available, prioritizing these, it's never going to be a bad thing. These aren't ones that are really specific to decks, which you have to have that one deck or it's useless. These can be used in a variety of decks, and they're all pretty damn good, to be fair, and they're going to be around for a while. Please do like, please do subscribe, do all of these good things. I'm going to keep on pumping out videos, I promise you that. So stick around and have a great day and a great week. See you guys again soon. Bye.